What's up, guys? We're back with another episode, and in this one we're going to be building the double wishbone suspension. Now, only one side, because we still have to actually bolt this up to the car before we start making the other side. So we'll do that. This is going to be a lot better episode, a bit more interesting, because we're actually going to be doing some fun stuff, which is actually building and fabricating. Not like the previous episodes where they probably were a little bit boring, a lot of talking and trying to figure some stuff out. But finally, the fun part, building and fabricating. That's what I love doing. That's where it's at. All right, so sorry for the last one's a bit boring, but we're finally gonna get into the good stuff. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to focus on one side, just the rear, and we're just going to be doing the wishbones. We still have to, once we mount them, then we're going to play around with the spindle and perfect that. Okay, so we're just going to do the wishbones and fabricate them in this episode. So already I'm starting to chit chat too much, so let's just get straight into it. Here goes nothing. So I'm pretty happy with the settings on the welder. I don't know if you can see that, it looks pretty good. I was gonna just tack it, and I was just like, nah, I'll do a little bead. So that's it, and we'll weld it up and then do the other side. Well, we just welded the first arm, well, one side anyway, and I'm pretty happy. I have not done much TIG welding with steel, so I've been doing a lot of aluminum, but not a lot with steel, but I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy. It's definitely, I could see it burning in nice. So I definitely wasn't getting any just filler on top, like it was burning in, so I could see that. And yeah, we'll just let it cool down and do the other side, mount this on the jig again, and hopefully we can get an arm done. Alright guys, it is getting late at night. Haven't eaten much today. I'm starving and I don't even know what my wife's cooked for dinner. But I'm just gonna tack this last tube up. She's ready to roll. Oh, that's so cool. So let's do it, tack it, and I'll weld him up tomorrow. Alright, it's the next morning and it is cold. I'm freezing. It was 4 degrees Celsius this morning when I went to go get my coffee. Bit of a slow start. Anyway, so yesterday evening we tacked this lower tube and we just have to finish welding that one up, and then, well, that's pretty much what it's going to look like roughly. That's the lower arm, and we'll start building the top arm, and then we've got to try and sort out some mounts on the chassis, because the way that the Lamborghini wishbones were mounted, they had their bushing here in between, but they had like a bolt through, and then it bolted to here. And if we make our mounts just one bolt, like take these, unthread these studs, and just bolt in a bracket, the brackets are gonna swivel and move, and we don't want that. So well, actually, when it's bolted, it may not. Yeah, because once the bolt goes through the heims, that will then stiffen them, and then it may work. Otherwise, if it doesn't, we have to maybe remove these original mounting points and put a weld in a plate to do it that way, so then it's more solid. But not sure. We might, before we do that, we might just try it this way first. Yeah, I'd rather try keep the original mounts instead of trying to make our own just yet, and then trying to get them accurate as well will be quite tricky, but we'll just do this way first, I think. Also, I'm going to heat up this control arm because it is freezing cold. It is super cold, and I just don't want any cracking in our welds from going super cold to hot, and then, you know, so, well, maybe, I'm not sure, but I feel like I need to warm this up, this part, to normal temperature before I start welding, so we're going to do that. There. Right, so we can now disassemble this because it is all welded up, this lower control arm. We've got another pipe bent here, and we've got to make this little fella, it's even tighter, even more tricky. So we'll unbolt this from the jig, use these bolts, and we'll bolt the uniball and the heims here, and then we can start adding and getting these tubes on. And then we'll have a complete for one corner, and then we can start on their mounts. Well guys, that's it. We've primed them, set the unis on and the heims back on, primed it up so we don't get any rust. And then we are not out of the clear yet. These are, I don't know for certain if these are 100%. I hope they are. You'd think I just would have tacked them, but I get too excited and I just wanted to weld them up, and it's practice welding too. So these are pretty much complete. All right, I just got to sand them back and paint them for real. But next episode, we are going to continue with the spindle. We have to get some more steel, turn it down in the lathe so we can set our bearing in there and work out our distances. We need to get a rotor on there and the hub and then bolt it up. So we were going to bolt this up in this episode. I'd be bolting it up, but we wouldn't be able to do the spindle, so we'll leave that for the next episode. So that's it for now, guys. If you've liked this video, please like and subscribe, hit that bell notification, and we will see you in the next video.